Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're getting through the winter. I know here we are approaching the end of January, and I am so excited because are things getting warmer soon? Maybe, maybe not. It's been so cold this week. Oh, I can't take it. I'm just ready for spring so much. I really love spending time outdoors. And I'm not a cold weather outdoors person. Like, I'm not like, oh, it's snowing, let's go outside. I'm just not that girl. So I like warm weather. Anyway, I hope you are having a great week and you're getting through winter. And if you live in a warm place, just know that the rest of us are very envious of you. So all right, this will be your weekly reading for the week of January 25th through the 31st. And during that time, we do have a first quarter moon that comes in on the 26th. And a first quarter can be kind of like a little mini full moon where you feel a little impatient and active. You just can't get anything done. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you have something going on that day, or maybe change a meeting if it's that day, it's just going to be hard for you to focus. So we then move into the waxing gibbous energy, which is definitely a time for a deeper understanding and outlook, a good time to plan and act and make adjustments on the things that you're working on. It's just, you can be a little bit more flexible on those days. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Gemini. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is to bring love into the situation. All right, let's see what the Gemini collective has going on that they need to bring love into. As I'm shuffling, my fun weekly reminder this week, Gemini, is that you keep a spiritual journal. So sometimes we don't recognize the patterns that are evolving in our life when it comes to our spiritual experiences. And this could be, keeping track of things like things that you're learning, could be synchronicities that you're having, or dreams, or different encounters that you might have, just different things that helps you look back on those emerging patterns, and that can be an important tool later on as you're evolving. And you might, I know for me, sometimes I'll look back and think, oh, I remember when I went, when I was seeing this animal and I applied that animal energy to the situation in my life and how that worked out for me. Or it could be that I look back and think, oh, I was going to do this thing. I was going to start doing this certain thing that I learned and I forgot. So just that, it's just important. So that is my fun weekly reminders that you do keep track of those things. It is fun too through the years to look back and think, oh, I remember learning that. It was years ago. Look at that. Look at the great way it's affected my life. So, anyway, I will start babbling. Stop babbling here, Gemini. Let's get into this reading. January 25th through the 31st, bring love into the situation. Your present energy is the Ace of Swords. So, some sort of aha moment or some sort of mental breakthrough that you're having where hopefully it means that you do bring love into some, excuse me, situation. I'm going to say right off the bat, speak up. I'm going to grab a drink. Anytime I have a little choke up like that, I do think that is a sign that means that you need to speak up about something. So, whatever this mental breakthrough is, don't share it, or don't not share it. Make sure that you share it with the people around you, and maybe whatever situation needs love. If you have an aha moment or some mental breakthrough, make sure that you are communicating about it. So, your current situation is the 10 of Wands. So, it could be something that you're done with, and this could be that your aha moment is to be done communicating in one particular way and learn to communicate in another way. And it could be just being more loving. It could be that I'm not going to treat this situation as I've been doing it. I'm going to put more love on whatever the situation that needs some sort of change there. At the root of your situation this week is the Knight of Cups. So, of course, you're moving forward in love, which is definitely, that's the Knight of Cups. He's about action in the way of emotion and love, and moving forward. So I really like this. This is about, showing allegiance to someone. This is just, being maybe a little bit more, this is about intense, doing something that really expresses how you feel about someone. This is about passion and love and loyalty, that sort of thing. So that is a great card for bringing love into any situation, for sure. In your recent past, let me move this deck over. In your recent past here is something maybe you've been a little bit anxious over. So whatever's been causing you some anxiety, it looks like you've had some kind of breakthrough. You've had a breakthrough on it, and you're going to end a way that you've been doing something and move ahead with love. I love all of this. This could be so many different things. Is this something in a relationship, in a romantic relationship? It could be. My example would be that, maybe you've had some anxiety because you haven't been communicating well. There's been some sort of communication block. So you learn what that is and you decide to take your own action and say, I'm not going to wait for my partner to fix this. I'm going to communicate better. I'm not going to communicate in the old way. I'm going to do it in this new way. Does that make sense? Moving forward and bringing love into the situation. So, good job. I think that's wonderful. What's on your mind this week is the King of Wands. So, this is you having a knowledge about passion and about um, about and being passionate about this entire situation. It's like what to do. You know what to do. This is just about taking that action and taking those steps and moving forward in a more positive way, and leaving the past behind. We've got a couple, look, we're seeing the back of this guy because he's pushing forward to do this new thing. This one, we're seeing the side, we don't even see his eyes. Same thing. He's moving forward in just a positive way with this cup full of love to pour all over it, which I do enjoy that. What is just ahead of you this week is the Two of Swords. So, you may be kind of at a crossroads with and maybe feeling a little bit of indecision, and you might want to think this all through a lot more. You've had this idea, maybe think through how to implement it before you do. Make sure that you're just taking don't think so hard that you don't take steps, and we'll see as the rest of your cards come out. But I do think you're going to put a little thought into this. It's not like you're just going to immediately take action. There might be some planning and some things that you do need to take care of and think about. What is in your advice position is the Empress card. So this is to be creative. Look at the Empress. This is our card of pregnancy. So you do need to think about that. This is the mother. This is someone who gives birth to something and builds something beautiful over time. So this is not something that you enter into. Of course, I have to mention pregnancy. It isn't always about actual pregnancy, but something where you commit to doing something long term. And again, like I was using communication as an example, maybe you do commit to, I'm going to communicate in a better way and I'm going to do it long term. I'm not just going to do it short term for a week. I'm going to commit to doing this long term. I'm going to set up, let's say that this is just about romance, and you're going to put a marker on your calendar that on this time I bring them flowers, or I write a note, whatever their love language, that you just kind of, you're more organized about it and you plan to do it, and you plan to do it long term. It's not just about, oh, I'm going to do it this one time and forget about it, but you're going to do it week after week and month after month for as long as you can see, moving forward. I mean, that's really making a commitment to change. And, when you change, what is it that it takes? How many days to change a habit, So, and relationships get like that. We all get a little stale in our relationships, and we need to do things that are better habits. You might be taking someone for granted, and then again, do the nice thing, but do it over the long term, not just the one time. Hope that made sense there. All right. What is beyond your control this week? Is the Knight of Swords. So look at you rushing forward to communicate this. I feel like you want to tell this person that, I've had a breakthrough. I want to tell you about it. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I'm really trying to work out the details, but this is something that I think long term is going to be good. So a lot of movement here with the knights, and this one is about communication and thought too. It might just be that this thought comes to you and now you're just kind of thinking about it a lot, and it's spawning off new thoughts, right? And it's just hard for you to not think about it. What is your secret desire and what are you trying to avoid? Knight of Wands. Well, I hope it's your secret desire. Look at all the action here, with all of these knights. We've got cups, swords, and wands coming out. So you're I hope it's your secret desire to put the passion back into something here. Again, you might be thinking about how to implement it. That might not be completely clear to you, but you want to. I can feel that these action, it's like the action is there, the need for action and the want for action, and maybe you're just trying to figure out the details of it. What is in your outcome position, Gemini, is the Star card. So this is about being drawn to something. This is about just knowing that this is a thing I need to do. This is about following the signs, and it is about making decisions eventually. And it's kind of like the decisions with the star card. Like they say, the things are written in the stars. Sometimes it's a very easy outline because it just seems super super obvious that that's what you need to do. But this is a card about hope, and a card about just being optimistic about things, and it's about being very clear about something. So I think that's a great place for you to end up and to bring love again into whatever situation this is. I know I used a romantic situation. There's really no indicator here of that's what this is, but this could be a situation that you have that's between you and one of your kids, right? Where you need to make some sort of long-term change and maybe how you communicate. This could be someone at work. I do feel like this involves a person and how you're communicating with them and how you express things and your ability to want to make long-term changes that are kind of recurring. Again, it's not just a one-time thing. So keep that in mind. What is hidden from you this week? Oh, look, it's the other night. It's the Knight of Pentacles. So, this is action on the material and monetary front, which maybe you already just have that taken care of. And that's why these other knights are coming in. But look at this, 4 knights on the table here, and it's not action on the material front. So I find that quite interesting. Like, you can't throw money at this situation. This is about putting your thoughts and your love and your passion into something, not about throwing money at it, if that's something you normally do. Not going to solve this situation for you. Let's see what the Soul Oracle deck says as we wrap up this reading for Gemini. Soul Oracle deck, January 25th through the 31st for Gemini. And the creative no. The creative no. Okay. So is there some situation, and maybe that's where you're hung up here with this 2 of Swords here. And it could be that you're if this is a romantic partner, and I'm not saying it is, again, it could template over any relationship situation. It could be that this that this person has just gotten used to the way that you act in a particular manner, and that you're going to creatively change how you're doing that. Again, I don't know if you even know the ins and outs of it yet. It looks like you're thinking about it, but I feel like by the end of the week, you have just at least made that decision, and I think you might start trying. But it is something that you're going to do long term. All right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care for the week. Self-care for Gemini this week. And the card that you get is the card that says Rebel. It's time to celebrate the fact that you don't fit in. Stand on your own 2 feet. So I feel like this is just saying, do the thing that you want to do. It might not be the typical thing, the thing that everyone does, but it's the thing that needs to happen in this situation. And again, this could be a romantic relationship. This could be this could just be a friendship that you want to change how you're dealing with your friend. Maybe things has been a little bit negative, and you want to put better thought and better passion and better emotion into how you manage and how you deal with things. So again, bring love into the situation. That's what your overall card says to do, and that's always a solution for a lot of different things there, Gemini. So Gemini, I really hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in your week this week. If you're comfortable sharing, don't don't be shy about dropping a comment down below, or if you have questions about this reading, I'd be happy to answer those as well. Also, if you like my reading style, if you hit that like and subscribe button, it really helps me, and I appreciate that so much. But it'll also help you find me next week. So good luck with all of this. Thanks, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.